going to be completing the circles square as part of our 365 Granny Square a Day Crochet Along project. Now this square looks a bit intimidating. It is gorgeous. It is made up of simple stitches. I'm going to try and explain things as clearly as I can throughout the video so that you can follow the stitch pattern and see just how easy it is. First thing I've done is with my first colour, I've done a chain of 22 stitches. I'm going to start working the inner row. So in the fourth chain from the hook, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go in and do 3 double crochets. Good if I'm on camera. 3 double crochets into that chain space. So 1, 2, and 3. Really happy to be working on a small project. I'm in the middle of a big blanket and it's really hot here today. Okay, 3 double crochet. We're going to skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2. In the third we're going to do a slip stitch. Then we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. Going to go into the third with 3 double crochet. And follow the same pattern we just did. So 3 double crochet, skip 2 stitches, slip stitch into the third, skip 2, 3 double crochet into the third, 1, 2, and 3. Skip 2, slip stitch. Now rather than doing the 3 double crochet again, in the last stitch we're going to do 4 double crochet. Two, 3, and 4. Now we've got to remove our hook at this point, so mine's removing itself. I like to leave a big loop so it's easy to find where I was. So we've got a little chain happening there, a little wobbly chain. Now we're going to remove the hook, insert it in the top of the first double crochet, which will be here, back at the beginning. We're going to put the loop back on our hook that we left at the other end and just pull that tightly. And we're going to put the loop through the top of the first double crochet. So it looks a bit like a little bumpy mess. It's all going to work out. Now we're going to work the outer row of the same circle. So working into the other side, you can see all the tops of our double crochets have gone into the center. Might be a bit hard to see on the video, but you'll see it once you've pulled it through. So we're going to be working into the original chain again, into the same chain stitches that we've just worked. We're going to do 11 double crochet in the same chain space as the last double crochet. It's going to get a little tight. That's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. My wool's not behaving today. I couldn't pull it out from the center, so it's rolling all over the place. So you can see our little circle happening there. After the 11 double crochet, we're going to slip stitch into the same chain as we did on the previous round. That's a little hard to see, but you know that it's 2 back from here. So we do a slip stitch there. We've got our first little circle. Now after the slip stitch, we are going to do another 11 double crochet in the previous one that we're working in. So you can see the hole there. So we're going to go in there with the 11 double crochet. And I think you can see how the remainder of this round is going to go. 3, 4, so 11 in here. We're going to slip stitch into the same space that we did on the previous round, and then start working into the same chain space. So we'll end up with 4 little circles around that match up with the double crochets and the slip stitches that we worked in the previous round. So 11 double crochet in here. I'm going to leave you here to finish the same pattern around. If you get stuck, pause, rewind back to about the 2.5 minute mark, and you should be in about the right space to follow the pattern again. See you back here when we have 4 little circles. Okay, we're back with 4 little circles. Now it is a gorgeous pattern. As I said, a little overwhelming. If you are feeling stuck and that you can't find stitches, please check out the written pattern, because it has really clear photographs that can show you exactly where each stitch is if you can't see them properly on the video. Now we just do a slip stitch back through the center of our work to finish off, and put this little baby, our little 4 circles, over to the side so that we can start round 2, which we start off separately and then add on. So I'm going to grab a different color, and I'm going to chain 70 with my nice pink, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay guys, I'm back and we're ready to start on round 2. So using my second color, I've done a chain of 70 stitches. We're going to start on the inner row again, so the inside of the circles. Part way through, we're going to pick up round 1 and join it in. So starting off, the 4th chain from the hook, we're going to do 3 double crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to skip 2 stitches and go in with a slip stitch. So we're working the same pattern as we were on the previous round, but we are going to incorporate the previous round into the next stitches. I'm going to skip 2 stitches, do another set of 3 double crochet into the third stitch of the third stitch in the chain. 1, 2, and 3. And this is where we're going to start. If I could keep my stitches on my hook, pulling up the third. This is where we're going to start incorporating the first round into our stitches. So we'll actually sit with the chain on the top, kind of working a bit upside down. So we're going to grab our 4 circles from round 1. Now working in the top left, I'm going to remove our hook from here. Working into the top left circle, we're going to count this as 1. We're going to go around to the 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Going to put that loop back onto our hook and pull it through. Got to kind of turn and twist. We want to keep that chain clear because in the next part of the round we will be working in that again, and we want these inner parts of the circles towards the circles we've already created. We're going to go back into the chain space we were just working and do another 4 double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so our chain's sitting off that way. We've got that first little half circle over here, and we've joined our second colour on in the corner there. From here we're going to continue working into the chain stitches. So we're going to skip the next 2, 1, 1, 2, going into the third with a slip stitch. Working the inside of this row is a little awkward, but you will get the hang of it. So we've gone in with the slip stitch there. We're going to skip another 2 stitches. 1, 2. I'm going to go in to the third with 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now I've just paused to lay it down so I can show you a little clearer where we're going to be going back in. I'll turn that around because we want these little circles towards these ones. Now I've pulled the loop up. I'm going to count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into the 8th stitch of the top. Pulling that loop through and then doing 4 double crochet back into that same chain space. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I actually had my work backwards. You can see that now. The little circles are joining up and we've got our corners. Really important that you don't start crocheting your chain into it. We need to keep that on the outside. Now we're going to skip 2, slip stitch into the 3rd, with a slip stitch, skip 2 stitches and do 3 double crochet. Now we're forming one of the corner circles. So this won't join on anywhere on round 1. 3. We're going to repeat that same pattern again, getting ready to join on. So we're skipping 2, slip stitching into the 3rd, skipping 2, 3 double crochet in the next, 1, 2, and 3, 3. We're going to remove our hook here so that we can join this inner circle to our round 1. You can see we've got that extra little circle there that will form our corner. We've got the same on the other side. Now we're going to go into the 4th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, well, that was 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. It counts the same both ways. It always pays to check that you've got your stitch count right. Pulling that loop through, and then we need to work our 4 double crochet into the same chain space, being conscious not to crochet over our chain, oops, sorry, as we'll need it free to continue our round. Oh, sorry about that. 3 and 4. Now we can start working along our chain again. So we're going to skip 2, go into the 3rd with a slip stitch, going to skip 2 and do 3 double crochet into the 3rd. So in here, another 3 double crochet. Okay, 3 double crochet into that chain space. I've pulled a loop out again. Going to count into the 8th double crochet of the previous round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've lost it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plenty of reminders that we're all just human and errors happen to the best of us. Alright, picking that loop up, pulling it through, and then finishing this section off with another 4 double crochet into the same chain space. Chain tail, okay, didn't miss anything. I was just getting myself positioned. So 4 double crochet in here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll notice that I've turned my work numerous times and had to turn it back, and that is purely because you're trying to keep a chain out of the way. I'm moving my square to where it's the most comfortable for me to crochet. So we've finished those 4. We're going to repeat the same pattern that we did on the previous side. So we're going to skip 2 chain spaces, slip stitch into the 3rd, because we're doing a corner again. We're going to skip the next 2 and do 3 double crochet that we won't be joining on, because that will form our corner circle. 1, 2, 3, skip 2 and slip stitch into the 3rd, skip 2, 3 double crochet into the 3rd, and this one we will be joining on the next side. So we'll do 3, pull our loop nice and big so it's easy to find and we're not losing it. 3, you can see where our nice little bubbly corners are going. We're going to be joining in to this circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Always keeping check with any granny square that we have got the correct stitch count, because if we're missing one or we have an extra, it's not quite going to work out how we want it to. So pulling that loop nice and tight, pulling it through the previous round, out of the way, chain. Now 4 double crochet back into that same chain space that we've just joined on with. And I'm going to have to pause for just one moment. Sorry about that, guys. Mummy duty. So we're just working back into that same chain space, chain stitch with 4 double crochet, 3 and 4. Going to skip 2, slip stitch into the 3rd, skip 2 and 3 double crochet, pulling up the loop. Sorry, that's got to give everyone motion sickness when that happens. And working into the next one, we're going to go into the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put our hook through, get that loop back on, pull it through, and work another 4 double crochet into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we've got another corner to work and one last side. I attached that on the wrong side, not to worry, it can be woven in. So you can see our circles are starting to form a square. Got another corner one to do, so we're going to skip 2 in our chain. Okay, so skip 2, slip stitch, skip 2 and 3 double crochet, be our nice little corner circle. 1, 2 and 3. We're going to skip 2 and slip stitch, another joining ring now, slip stitch, skip 2 and 3 double crochet, so 3 double crochet there, pull up a loop because we're going to join this circle into our center ring, counting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, beautiful, pull the loop tight through, and then we've got 4 double crochet. Just, it's tricky not to get that chain caught up in our stitches, and we do need the last little bit to finish off the square. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Got one more of those in this round. You can see our cute little corners popping up. I'll let you finish out the chain. Skip 2, slip stitch, skip 2, 3 double crochet, join in, and then 4 double crochet. I'll meet you back here to show you how to join the rows together. Okay, I've done my final circle. Now to join up, we're going to pull this up. We're going to go into the very first double crochet that we did for this round. I'm going to flip it over and go from the back. Grab that loop and make sure we grab it the right way or we're going to get tangled and it won't tighten. Grab the loop, pull that through there, and we're ready to start working on our outer row. So I'm going to continue working on this side, which is actually the correct side of my work anyway. So I'm going to do another 8 double crochet in the same space as the last one. Slip stitch into the same chain. So we're just working the outside of the chain like we did on the inner circle. So 8 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tail stuck in there. 7, 8. Then we're going to slip stitch into the same place we did when we were working the inside. Next worked chain space will be another 8 double crochet. Okay, so there'll be 11 of them. Continue in the same fashion. So we've made our first circle. We're going to go around and make the other 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I'll meet you back here. Oh, I did forget something. When we were working the previous round, we left the corner stitches with less than what the side stitches had. So corner stitches will actually have 11 double crochet in them, just to get them nice and tight and big full circles. So 11 in the corners and 8 in the sides. Alright, I'll see you in a moment. Okay lovelies, we're back. I've finished going all the way around, completed the final round of circles with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Some of them look a little bit wonky, but I think that they will all level out as we start edging. So I've just joined my edging colour on in the 4th double crochet of a circle with a slip stitch. I've chained 1. Now I'm going to single crochet into the same stitch, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet in the 4th double crochet of the next circle. So we're going to have to flip and go this way. Going around a corner won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Chain 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Turning our circles into a square. Chain 5. One, 2, 3, 4. Now it's a corner, so we're going to chain 5, and then we're going to go into the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take us around the corner. We're just going to continue exactly with that same pattern. So a chain of 5 and a single crochet into the 4th stitch of the sides, the 4th and 8 on the corners. I'll meet you back here once you've slip stitched back into the beginning. I'm back. I've joined it all up with a slip stitch. I'm going to do the additional round, which you may need to make it to size. I'm doing it mainly to strengthen up the square a little bit because it's a bit flimsy, and the way that I'm planning on joining my squares together, it won't completely work. So I'll show you how we do the optional extra row if you need some extra height. So we're going to chain 1 to start, single crochet into the same stitch, so a single, not a double, get off there, little loopy, a single crochet into the one from the previous round. It's a corner, so we're going to do 7 single crochet. Sometimes doing doubles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I am working double crochet. Double crochet will work better for my height and save me doing another additional round, because these ones I'm doing a little bit bigger, but a single crochet, if necessary, should give you the perfect height. So just continue all the way around back to the beginning. I hope that you've enjoyed this video tutorial and you have found it helpful. Have a fantastic day. See you next time.